Good evening. I'd like to welcome you all to this little place I like to call, in this digital space, the Den. I'm your host. Look, it's the last of the fucking grenadine, all right? I just made my last little tequila sunrise. We're gonna have us a good evening tonight. We're gonna have a good time because I think this is gonna be a very interesting topic, and I hope that you do as well. But hey, if you're new to this, man, welcome to the Den. I'm your host, Ed Honcho. This is the Den where we talk about a lot of different things, a variety of topics, some things that may be jumping off in pop culture or life, society, whatever the fuck you want, whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I got too many of these damn, little fucking, see my wrist? The fucking hair bands on my wrist, cutting off my fucking circulation. All right, so let's see who we got joining us this evening. You know, all the Den folk OGs, and I've been adding a little bit of the old KD element to it a little bit lately, because when you can, I suggest you do. And life is short. Enjoy yourself, right? I've been adopting some new philosophies in life lately. This ain't the stream to share 'em, but we'll get into it one day. Right. So let's see what we got here. Heidi's not here. I'm pretty sure 335 is, but Heidi's never here on time. I see the lovely Miss Sarah Lou. How are you doing this evening, ma'am? Dre Harden, what's the motherfucking deal? I'm here. It's all an illusion. What's the motherfucking deal? What? Notifications working? YouTube. They probably forgot about me. That's what it is. They're like, oh, it's been so long since I've been consistent. They probably forgot how terrible the things I say are. So maybe they actually putting the show back out there. DeMarkey, I'd rather a number 10 from Jack in the Box. Johnson, how are you doing this evening, sir? D the Gamma, you are the one I wanted to see this evening. I hope that you call in because we were talking about this a little bit last night, and I saw you in the comments saying something, and I would definitely like to hear your views and hear your opinions. Hey, man, hit that like button. It helps. Let's see. Freaking hiding. It's, German people. It's something about them. Just something about them. I don't know. I don't know if it's their cars or their watches or their food. Whoever says that. I was talking to my friend the other day, right? We were having a conversation about various foods. A female friend, not like that. And she said, whoever says that I went out to eat at a fire-ass German spot. And I had to think about it. Nobody is. I've never heard. I don't think Germans even say that. Germans probably in German like, Wiener Schnitzel fire. See, yeah, whatever. I don't fucking know. Robo Hoes, man. Robo Hoes were good grief. I put too much tequila in that one. Yes. Yeah, I wore the shirt on purpose because I fucking whatever. Don't even know how I got the shirt, but. I'm joining the Illuminati. This is my Illuminati indoctrination edition video. May call. I didn't ask you, D the Gamma. I am expecting your call. You know what that means. Jason. Shout out to Jason. I was listening to Jason's call earlier today, and I missed something that he said. I didn't catch it in real time, but when I went back and heard it, that shit was funny as shit. Jason was on fire last night. He said nobody wants to date a fire hydrant, right? Oh man. I don't even think the quote. I don't know if the quote thing works. I don't know if I have the stream elements deal work because, like I said, the thing I used to use, a whole different setup, whole different system. It doesn't really necessarily work anymore, but we'll figure it all out, right? Just beer, hamburgers, and hot dogs. I don't know, man. I thought it was what is it? Is Frankfurters like in German? That's Germany. Bratwurst and Frankfurters and shit. Y'all made a bunch of fucking foods that look like dicks. What's wrong with y'all? Gotta question these German people. Let's see. Make sure you're in the live chat. You want to get all the messages. I'm probably in top chat. So let's get into it. So tonight, like I said, I wanted to talk about bodies, right? And I want to talk about body type. Mainstream pushes this kind of narrative of, a certain body type. It's actually changed a lot. I want to talk about how that's changed a lot too. Let me fix this thing. It feels weird. See, look, see what y'all got to understand is when you're doing the real Illuminati thing, you got to like, you see how I'm putting my head directly in the center of the sun? You know what I mean? And then you have the eye here. This is all for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got me, right? But, no, so, we're going to talk about this because I don't always believe that people in certain areas of society, so maybe advertisers or people who are in that industry. But again, I may be wrong, and I'll tell you why. Don't always have their pulse on society, right? But sometimes I think maybe they, what's the word I want to use? Navigate society's views with certain things, right? But we'll get into that. But I also want to talk about body count. And does body count matter? And I kind of want to look at it in different scenarios. Maybe a body count with a person who may be a friend with benefits versus a body count of somebody you have serious intentions on being with. Is there a difference? Does it matter? Do you care? I felt like it was something else I was gonna speak on, but we'll get to all that stuff as we get to talking, right? Let's see. Wiener Schnitzel. Are Wiener dogs? Are they German too? That's probably where they fucking came from. Yeah, that's what it is. Brandon, what? See, I told you 335 was in here before you, Heidi. Peace. Shout out to 335. You on the HGH? You on the you gotta take that natural shit. What's that shit? Fadoja, Arterisa or some shit. I don't know. I seen this shit. I saw it earlier. I thought it was cool. I was trying to remember it. Oh man, look, I'll be honest, and that's actually great. I'm glad you mentioned steroids and all that because I want to talk about it from both points of view too. It's not just about female body types. I put all women on the thumbnail. I want the female view too of the male body type, right? Because I've been encountering something lately, personally, right, that I did not know, and so I'm gonna speak on that. But I want to know, do people prefer or is it different? Because for the sexes, I guess different things. But do you prefer a smaller body type, a bigger body type? So we're going to start off with the ladies, right? Because, like I say, me personally, I won't say I have a preference. I don't. I won't say I don't have a preference, because I do. But I think my range may be a little different than the average man, right? But I think several factors play into that. And so when we start discussing these preferences and these things, I'm curious to know what plays. Is there a thing that makes you feel that way? Is there a physical reason? Is it just the appearance? What goes into, your preferences? Because some people like anorexic women, right? Not my cup of tea. Some people like SSBBWs, right? And you're like, what the fuck is a SSBBW, huh? I don't understand. You're adding letters. This must be some of this new alphabet shit that you're on. No, it just stands for supersized BBW, which I had a joke there. I got a joke there. I mean, it's a good joke. I'm gonna lay it up. I'm just gonna leave that joke out there, and anybody who wants to just take the alley off the rim and dunk that, I'll let you have it, right? Chill out. Yeah, and I thought that was extremely interesting. I thought that was extremely interesting that was the response that was received, because I definitely thought that the men would say a much smaller number, and that's kind of why we're having this conversation this evening. Because when I asked Jason yesterday on the call, is there a hard number limit? And he said 250, right? Shit. And when I asked the question to the chat, I saw that, that's what I said. That's what I said yesterday. Heidi was getting all jealous. 250. And she said it in German, though. I don't know how you say 250, like 250 Wiener Schnitzel in German or whatever. But she got all jealous, so I had to chastise her for her bad behavior, and I had to let her know that the den was built. Robo-Hose and BBWs is how this whole thing got started. And, if you didn't know that, if you weren't here for the RoboHo, the daily RoboHo and BBW conversation, I think that might be the quintuple OG cutoff mark. Like if you weren't, I think you would have had to be top OG all time den. So you had to kind of be here for that the origin story of the fucking den. You know what I mean? Because it was terrible stuff, but it was very entertaining. But you know, it is what it is. But again, right? I think it's fucking A. I think it's relative, right? To the person. Average dude, I don't know what the average man size is. I think 5'7", 5'8", maybe 5'9", somewhere in there, right? But you have, excuse me, goodness gracious. But you have, you know, a lot of people who are, I don't know what average is anymore, honestly, because I think the country's gotten bigger. And I actually wanted to ask that question. Let me get it all organized here because I really put a lot of tequila in this fucking drink. And it's Saturday night. I'm finna get loaded. I don't care what y'all say. It's gonna be fucking drunk ass then. But because the country is getting bigger as a whole, like the whole populace of America is getting fatter, like, you know what I'm saying, either fat by osmosis or some shit. I don't know. But people are getting bigger. So do you think that has an impact on society's views? Culture, race, however you want to look at it. That can also play a part in, you know, the conversation. Like we talked about last night, Sir Mix-a-Lot. I like Big Butts and I cannot lie. I don't know why you would lie about it. There's no reason to lie about it. But, you know, back in the day, even with niggas, in the South, big asses were always a thing. Like the South, it was all, big fucking asses were always the standard, right? In L.A., New York, they used to like them little model bitches, them little skinny, but anybody want that shit. And fucking, they look sickly. They look out of there. Anyway, so, yeah. So I want to know, you know, what plays a part of that. And so I'm gonna ask some questions when I do open up the line. But me personally, right? Let me get my note. I have a notebook. I'm gonna have I've rededicated a notebook to the den like the old times. I'm gonna start writing things down again. It's been so long. Also, another thing that kind of played into this, and it's kind of the opposite, right? So y'all have all heard the song. If you've watched Ben Shapiro, you've definitely heard him recite the lyrics to it, right? You know what I mean? So, like I said, so the Pound Town song, right? This sexy red chick, this not that sexy red. Like again, and this is my opinion. Somebody else may love it. You got niggas sucking bitches' toes in public. That's disgusting. But whatever, right? Whatever. So I think it goes both ways. I think you can do things to yourself that just make your like a Wendy Williams body, right? And you're like, Hunter, this is the very fucking definition of body shaming that you're doing on the stream. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit at all. That's what I do. So again, like I said, it's just kind of different. So let's talk about it. Actually, I kind of have been talking about it. Anyway. Let me express my thoughts before I open up the line. I guess that's the best thing to do. So, again, like I said, I'm a larger guy. Blacks love cold, sweet drinks. Terrible, but true. So very true. The first thing I thought of when you said that was a nice cold glass of red Kool-Aid. And red is the flavor. But again, so like I said, we have body types, we have preferences. And in America, I know for a long time, it was the skinny, you know, blonde, or just the skinnier body type. And, you know, now it's the complete opposite. But people say, oh, it's in my DNA. It's not. It's in the fucking food you eat. That's all the fuck it is. And you probably eat the same food you were raised up on. If you have, you know, a generally big family, you know, it's probably because the familial diet is very similar. You know what I'm saying? I got a, I got a, I got one. I got a decent bourbon. At the, yeah, I don't ever drink it. Never ever drink it. Uh, but it's like I said, the overall view I think has changed from the skinnier woman to an average to more plus size, right? I mean, because you had the rap music and you had all the video vixens. White people like rap music. I don't know if y'all know that, right? I don't know if y'all know that, but white people like rap music too. And I think that you see the videos, you see the twerking, you see all the, the jiggly flesh. It can have like a hypnotizing effect on you, right? The best of us, the strongest of us, right? White people like us. The best of us have fallen prey to the jiggly flesh, right? I mean, it's tantalizing. It is very mesmerizing, if you will. Not all of it, a lot of it, not all of it. Some of it is very bad. This is why we're talking about body types and preferences. But also, I think that we can't just use numbers when we're talking about a size, because especially with women have. I saw something. It was a chick. She was like, I forgot what she was, like 5'9", 2 something. And, you would think whatever the number was, you'd be like, broad could probably play fucking, right tackle or something. But you wouldn't be able to tell, but she was definitely very stacked, right? So it was sitting in all the appropriate places. But then you could have another broad who's so-and-so, and it could be just all center mass, you know what I'm saying? So it might not be the same thing. I think we talk about like bodies, and this is I'm not a scientist. I don't know if y'all know. I'm not a fucking scientist, so don't like take my shit as law and then like, Honcho said, fucking bitches built like the penguin got the best pussy or some shit like that, because I didn't say that, right? I did not say that. But I always think about people who have like weird body shapes, and I wonder if it's really their DNA, if it's like really two people got together, fucked, and made a mistake, or is it just like their habits? You know what I mean? Like they just got shitty habits. They had like shitty kid habits, like laid around in a stupid fucking position all day, and their body just start growing that way. I always wonder, like, how the fuck do you get that? You know what I mean? Like, so like me personally, I'm an ass man, right? I'm gonna look. If I don't want to look, I'm gonna look, right? It's just I have to inspect. I have to, right? It's see a chick walk by, it's just like you don't want to. I've tried to physically stop, like don't. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna side. I mean, I might get like here, and then use the rest as just peripheral, or I might do a full turn, and just be like, God damn, wow, that's amazing, right? And for the particularly, especially nice ones, I may actually vocalize, God damn, wow, you know what I mean? So something like that. But you wonder how you get that. Like you see just like how you get like, bitch, a broad don't work out. You know what I mean? It's just is it really that natural? But again, different strokes for different folks. Body count. Let's talk about that. Because I said I promised I wasn't going to talk all day, and I'm going to open up the lines. I want to talk to y'all. It's about y'all, not me. But body count, right? So I think that's a very, very interesting conversation, because you can sit here and say, I don't care, right? Because I think most dudes don't realize. I don't think most dudes realize how, excuse me, out there women can be, right? Trill, what's the motherfucking deal? I don't think that most people realize that women are good at keeping secrets. They're excellent cheaters. And they probably have, especially this day and age, a way higher body count than you would like to imagine. So I think this is a part for not for the weak, right? Because you could see something, like it, attempt to approach, and everything could be all good. And then maybe you get to that point and then you realize that She's a very freaky girl, right? And you don't take home the mother, right? First you get her name, and then you get her number. And so from there you proceed to see, hey, you like her, she's attractive, she could be a very cool person. She just might be out there, right? Then you have a situation where you'll have a chick who seems low key. She seems like she doesn't. Instead of women that have been ran through all this bad shit. Oh yeah, but they'll do a very good job of hiding it first. Because here's the thing, and I'm a firm believer in soul ties. I'm a firm believer in when you. And I noticed a drop when I started talking about women getting ran through. That's very interesting. But when you when you interact with somebody on a physical way, I don't care if you're wearing condoms, you go naked head, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. When you're getting physically intimate with somebody that way, you're leaving, or you're making a connection. You're leaving a piece of yourself with that person. That person leaving a piece of themselves with you, right? Now, men are better equipped to handle situations like this because biologically, we're not as emotionally driven. We didn't used to be as emotionally driven. Now, things are changing, right? And things have changed. I don't want to say they're changing. Things have changed, and there is no going back, right? So this is something you have to accept, as much as we don't want to accept it. The world has changed, and it is going to change more, and it's going to get. This is like we haven't reached the climax yet. We're not even close. But anyway, so like I said, so you can come across some of these chicks who may look like goody two shoes, and they may look like innocent little nuns. Those are the ones you really got to watch out for. Like I said, women are much better at keeping secrets than men are, but I don't fault them for that. I don't fault them. For that, like, at all, because look, we know a lot of dudes are not player at all. A lot of dudes are really, really weird. Y'all know this. Even though think a lot like a dude like DeMarque, right? We know DeMarque don't get no hoes. Like, you can't. DeMarque be probably like the worst wingman that you could ever find, right? But if a chick was put it out there that, she's promiscuous or active or things like that, you got dudes who go and they flock and they be in the inbox. Y'all know dudes be doing weirdo stuff, right? Yeah, the Marky is definitely a cock blocker. But yeah, Adam 22, that whole weird thing. But we'll get into that. That's another thing. That's another topic we didn't even get on. One of those things that we missed. But yeah, so I don't blame females. Like, you have to be. Like, a broad has to be for her own sanity and safety. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's a broad puts out there that she's even slightly freaky. Or these broads would be thirst trapping or whatever. And they like it because they want the attention. But, then they get that inbox full of DMs, 100 fucking messages random. Like, so I get it. I understand why women, and this is even niggas is just thirsty. Niggas will do overly desperate, thirsty shit in the attempt to hope. The attempt to hope, not the attempt to get some pussy or the hope to get some, the attempt to hope to get some pussy. Like, niggas will do the most outrageous shit, right? Niggas will climb fucking buildings like Spider-Man. You feel me? Like, niggas will do the most off-the-wall shit for the vajayjay. So I don't blame women, and I don't blame women who are freaks. I don't really give a damn. Like, me personally, I look at it like this, and I'll be honest. There is a double standard. As far as a friend with benefits, if it's somebody you just fucking with, whatever, right? Cool, whatever. Oh, Jack, I heard about that dude, I think. But like I said, it is what it is. But I'm over here, I'm over there. There's a double standard. A friend with benefit, I don't care if it's not going to be something serious. We're going to be cool. We just kicking it. We just on some, whatever. Why do I give a fuck, right? Because it's not going to be DeMarque. Never mind. Bill. You'll get there one day. I'm gonna teach some classes 'cause I've learned something. I've learned a whole lot in my absence that I thought I knew better. And I'm gonna be honest, like all the red pill shit, all that shit that's going, they're all fucking wrong. They're all pushing the wrong narrative, right? And it's really all so simple. Like it clicked to me. It's really all so simple. Infinity in this bitch, what's the motherfucking deal? Jayla Mel, what's the motherfucking deal? Anybody I may have missed, I promise I ain't this. But yeah, but if you're taking somebody more serious, I think here's the caveat. And then again, this is this is not a man thing. Because I think most men overall are going to be, they want a bitch that ain't even been touched by God. You feel me? Like, they want the pure, the virgin. They want to have that experience, and because there's a lot of things that come with that. A man wants a woman who is down with his program, right? You don't want a woman who's been made bitter and crazy, and she anticipates everything that you do is something negative because of, shit that's happened in the past or, prior relationships, because that becomes the burden on the man. We can sit here and say, women say, oh, take me as I am. I just won't take you. Because that can be a burden, right? So the fewer dudes that she's dealt with, as Illusion mentioned earlier, probably the less likely she is to be, over the top. It's not always the case, but women sit here. Women can't fuck like dudes can fuck, right? Women cannot fuck like dudes. They can, but they don't respond like men. They try to. They hide it well, but it's not the same, right? So a dude can fucking duck and not know a chick they even not give a shit, right? A broad is going to carry all of this stuff with her because you got to understand how the physical act of intimacy works, right? And for dudes, it's all external. Everything's on the outside. Everything's out. It's external. You're expelling. You're getting rid of. For women, it's internal. You're internalizing. You're taking something in, inside yourself. You're going to be left with, some memories. And again, when I get to talk about these women doing certain things, I said, notice the numbers drop. Anyway, so that being that, in a relationship, you would rather a significantly lower body count or one without all those issues, or you better hope that you done found her in another city. That's what a lot of women do. Once they done got ran through, like in their own little town, and they done built up a reputation, they go like move to another city and then try to start over. You know what I mean? Like, it works for some of them. So you got to be careful too. So if you're a dude and you're dating a chick from out of town, you know what I'm saying? Ask her why did you move? You don't have any family and friends. You just decided just to move randomly. She probably she'd have probably left a graveyard back where she from. You feel me? I mean, if she move around a lot, well, she's got a couple of cemeteries under her belt. You feel me? Anyway, let's see. This small town song. This small. I've been hearing about it. I have not heard the song. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that man, bro. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. I'll tell y'all individuals, some dudes. Y'all just gotta. You just gotta change your mindset. It wasn't. We'll talk about this. This is another stream. We're gonna get about body type. We're gonna talk about body counts. But again, so friend with benefit, I don't give a fuck because, like I say, you just fucking now. I think you got to have whatever terms you have. You got to think whatever things you agree to or whatever you're okay with. It's gonna be different for different folks. But for me, friend with benefit, don't give a shit. As long as you ain't dirty, I'm cool. I thought I was tripping for a second. What is the other thing? I was saying that a serious relationship? Absolutely not. Well, you go. You figure that out. Anyway, because you got to think of it, especially as a man, you don't want to be the guy. Remember I don't know if y'all remember this. This might be for some old. This is going to be a ass backwards analogy. And some of y'all probably won't get it right. y'all remember? I don't know if y'all had, was it KB Toys or Walmart or even I think Toys R Us they used to have them. But you know, I used to have those demo like Super Nintendos or Genesis or whatever, like old systems that you could play. Uh, no, I'm really not that high. I'm more drunk than high. Way more buzzed than I am high. Because this has been like for whatever. But y'all remember those, right? And how they used to fucking reset. They would reset every time you fucking, well, like after so long they'd reset, and you know, you're supposed to get off and let the next person fucking play, and let the next person fucking have a turn on the game or whatever. If there was a line, and generally was a line, because you know you're in Walmart, a bunch of kids ain't got shit to do. They want to run around shopping with their mom or whatever. Yeah, you don't want to buy that Super Nintendo, right? The one everybody got to play for free. You don't want to buy the demo Super Nintendo, the one that resets unless the next motherfucker have a turn, you know, fucking 36. You don't want to be the guy that buys that, right? And that's what it's looked like when a woman has when a woman has been, you know, again, and I'm not knocking any woman who likes to fuck or would likes to do whatever, like that is your prerogative. You just have to understand society views it. It's a double standard. It is what it is. And a man's going to see it a certain way because if, you know, a man is taking a risk by, you know, marrying a woman or whatever you want to call it because it's his assets that are going to be up for grabs. And if he has to be the one to buy the fucking demo Super Nintendo, you know what I mean? Like, then you got this fucking messed up stuff. You got this Super Nintendo with problems that everybody's fucking use, and it resets every 30 seconds. And the broad's probably gonna be crazy, probably gonna flip out every 30. So no man really wants the extreme body count situation. So there we go. All right, Big Ron in the building. Shout out to Lil Ron. Great conversation last night. Don't know what we talked about, but it was good to be. So I'm gonna open up the line, and so this is what we're gonna talk. Okay, talking about body types. I want to know your personal preference, right? So is it big, little? I've learned that a lot of women, and I don't know, you know, well, I do know some things, but a lot of women, I think, maybe because everything's getting high and it's getting expensive, like bigger dudes. And they figure, you know, he's eating, I'll eat too, right? But we'll get to that. So great analogy, no one buys the demo unit. Exactly. Thank you, Dre. Dre got it. But yeah, I used to be on that motherfucker. Yes, you ain't lying, because the fucking TV would be way up here, so you'd be up there looking at this with the fucking little controller that you couldn't fucking move, so you stuck in that bitch. Yeah. So that's that. But let me I guess I should fucking get the little number thing up there, huh? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Look, don't judge me too harshly. I think it was here. And there was some text messages going on during some of the calls yesterday. And you know who I'm talking about. You're a terrible person. Excuse me. You're a terrible, terrible person. I just want you to know that. So, make sure everything's right. Yeah. Use that. I should have set this stuff up first, right? No, I should put the fucking headphones on. But yeah, don't buy the demo unit. That's the lesson of the night stream. Don't buy the demo unit Super Nintendo, right? You kind of sketchy buying a unit out of Walmart. Period. You motherfuckers be throwing the fucking shit around. Walmart motherfuckers, the warehouses, they don't give a fuck. They will toss that shit. They just trying to get that shit over and done with. They don't not give a fuck about the end user and their experience buying that fucking television. How do I know that? Because maybe I did that once or twice. Or not. Who knows? Okay, I'm getting this stuff set up. Promise something like, give me like 30 seconds. All right, just give it like 30 seconds, guys. All right, that's cool. We good? Y'all good? We cool? All right. And background music. There we go. I don't know what that's doing. All right, everything else looks good. Cool. Where is that? Splakaka. There we go. There's the number 832-464-4555. You want to call the Den line 832-464-4555. You can call or text. Now, if you text and you say something off the wall that you don't want to be read publicly, you better state that because I will read it. And I might still read it, even though you don't want it to be read publicly, because it's just what the fuck I does. So, yeah, but I was saying something else. But yeah, so when you call, I'm going to be asking you about your preferences. I'm going to ask about your thoughts on body counts. I'm going to be asking you about random other things too. So let's just see how it all goes. All right, I don't even know if this shit's working. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
It's Belle.
Belle. Oh shit. Hold on, my bad. I got the wrong mic and all kind of stuff going. All right, Miss Belle, how are you doing this evening, Miss Belle?
Good. I was so pissed I missed last night. I'm streaming it on the flat screen while I'm watching you on the laptop.
Okay, double duty. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. So, Miss Belle, since you did miss last night, or part of last night, because you were here harassing Josh for whatever reason. I don't know why you were bullying Josh, but it happened. So what did you think about the Alabama vote?
I actually just talked to my daughter about it this morning. I had no idea. I've been completely off grid with all that. So I'm still kind of catching it up, but it sounds like the people that weren't where they were supposed to be should have got beat the shit out of. And I'm glad they got arrested.
So if you were there when the boat ball went down, what side would you have fought for?
I would have fought for the ferry people. No, because the fact is they had the right of way.
Would you hit somebody with a chair?
It depended on how much I was pulled into it, but that's a possibility.
Okay. Hold on 1 second here.
I grew up on the water, so there's a certain water etiquette with different things on boats and docking. So, yeah, I kind of tend to go along with that.
Can you tell me more about this water etiquette? What is that? How does that work?
It's kind of like preferred parking. When you have big boats and things like that, they have almost reserved spaces. And like the smaller boats and the smaller craft need to kind of bend the way for the larger stuff.
Okay. All right. Ms. Bell, what's your body count?
That is under lock and key.
Where's the key and where's the lock?
As I would say to my daughter, that would be an ocular scan only.
I'm familiar with the ocular pat down myself. Okay. So how do you feel about body types, and what is your preference of body type, Ms. Bell?
Preference body type is probably a swimmer's build. Tall, broad shoulders, slim waist, great legs, the whole package.
The whole package?
Okay.
Understandable. Excuse me. I'm getting a little choked up there. Okay. So what is it about this particular bill that works for you?
I would say it's probably got a strong, healthy look to it.
Okay. Is that like, do you think is that like a mental thing for you, a mental stimulus, or do you think it's a biological thing?
It's a physical attraction thing. I've never been attracted to overweight guys, nor have I been attracted to super skinny guys. Am I vain about it? Probably. but they still have to have an IQ. I mean, it's not like I can go with somebody that's got nothing between the ears either.
Okay. What do you think the average woman's body type preference is?
For men,
Yes, but I would say.
God only knows. I mean, you've got anything from Jason Momoa to George Clooney to Eminem to, I mean, it's so individual.
Interesting. Do you find Eminem attractive?
No.
Do you listen to Eminem's music?
I have. I've even watched the movie 8 Mile.
What was your favorite
It gave
part
me
of
a
that
lot more. It gave me a lot more insight about why he was accepted into the black community, because I never understood that.
movie? Okay. So, all right. Do you think that okay, see, let me ask you this. What do you think that society's body type preference for a woman is?
What is that? 38, 28, 38, maybe? I wouldn't say quite the Barbie type, but for men to women ratio, it's usually the hourglass figure.
Okay.
Not every man is under that, but general society across the board, that's kind of the go-to. Interestingly enough, the average woman's body size is 14 to 16 in the United States.
So where does the 38, 28, 36 come from if it's only 4? See, so like this, help me understand something, because I don't understand women.
That was just off the top of my head, because what it is it's the hourglass measurements.
But I mean, but like...
You go 10 inches smaller on the waist than you do the hips and the bust.
Okay. So, but then, so like, where would the 14 come in? Like, how's that, what is that measurement? Like, because y'all have all them different things. Y'all got like the juniors,
Okay.
the plus sizes, the misses, all the
Yeah.
different sizes.
On your big screen, big star A-list movie types, they usually probably a size 5, 7, 9, which is really small. And then junior sizes are probably like 14, 16, 18. And 18 is a bigger size on the junior size.
Okay. So what is considered, so plus size would be in the junior size?
It's sort of changed over the years. Back when I was growing up in the 80s, anything over a 14 was considered plus. Now it's anything over an 18, which gives you about 8 inches on the waist.
So every size is 2 inches?
Roughly. It can be. It's about 20 to 25 pounds.
So you feel as though, because society has gotten bigger over the years, so do you think as society's gotten bigger, the view of what's considered big has gotten bigger?
It's become more acceptable. It's become less. There's still body shaming, and there's still what's the word I want? Taboo of being overweight or being like enormous, like 500 pounds and more, that kind of thing. But they're trying harder across the society to be gentler and nicer. It doesn't always work, but it's there sometimes. As far as since the 70s, 80s, and 90s, yeah, I would say larger sizes are more accepted because people on average are bigger. You know, when we started supersizing the McDonald's meals and the Burger King meals, we started supersizing Americans.
That's very interesting.
Not everything's in coalition of that, but yeah. You know, back in the 80s, an average meal would be a hamburger, a small fry, and a 12-ounce drink. Think about what somebody would order today.
Man, that would piss me off. Like, what the fuck is this fucking bullshit kids meal. That might not even be a kids meal. That's like a no,
Pretty
no.
much it is now. It is a kids meal.
That's crazy. That's crazy that we've come that far.
And so, well, the thing is you figure the bigger the portion sizes, people are going to get bigger. And we're more of a sedentary society because we've got more vehicles on the road, we've got more automated systems.
So, okay, do you feel like there's a double standard of body type between men and women in America?
Absolutely.
Okay, why do you feel that way?
The bigger men are not always, but up until a certain point, men are considered stronger. In certain traditional values, men are supposed to be not just the breadwinner, but they're supposed to keep the home in straight relationships. They're supposed to keep the home safe. And so if a man is bigger, they've got the muscles, they can do things, da-da-da-da-da. May not be the reality of it, but that's how... If you look in the, like, Disney cartoons and you look at Prince Charming, he's tall, he's this and that and the other thing. If you look at, different movies, is always tall and dashing, whether they're white or black or Hispanic or whatever. The man who has a bigger presence has a protection kind of essence.
So when you say bigger presence,
with this.
when you say bigger presence, are you talking about bigger presence like the Justin Timberlake, Andy Samberg song, "Dick in a Box"? Have you ever heard that song?
No, I actually haven't heard it.
You should check it out. It's a very good song. And then they have a follow-up song called "Mother Lover." It's a very good song as well. You should check those out.
Sure.
So when you say,
me, I'll research it.
so when you say a bigger presence, are you saying like a bigger overall physical presence? Do you mean just the way a man carries himself, or what
A little bit of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have some men, and I'm not saying all, some men under like 5'8", they go through what's called little man syndrome because they're not tall enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can become a not enough.
Mm-hmm. So do you feel like those guys overachieve or try to overachieve?
I think it just depends on the individual guy, but I would say that would definitely have part of their personality. I mean, as somebody who's only like 5'2", I get why not being tall enough to reach something or do something can have its challenges. And if you think about it, in traditional, women are usually, not always, but 3 to 4 inches at minimum shorter than a guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as we've said, if two people are in the bedroom and who's grabbing the bat, usually the one that's bigger and stronger, and traditionally that's the man. Mm-hmm. Reality of it is, doesn't always happen.
Okay. So you say that you absolutely feel there's a double standard. So who do you feel like benefits, though, is benefiting from the double standard? You feel like men are benefiting from the double standard?
I think it just depends on the city or town you're in. I mean, if you've got a town that has more women than men and you're a man, obviously you can take advantage of that. Or if you're a woman and go to Alaska where men outrank women, it's all about the numbers. It's about the size of the pond and the amount of fish in it.
Okay. Okay. So wait. I need you to tell me more about this. How I can take advantage of women part. Like, how does a man? You say if you go where there's more women, you can take advantage of.
There's certain cities like Atlanta there's 3 women to 1 man in Atlanta, Georgia.
But are those all real women? This is Atlanta we're talking
I don't
about.
know. I don't know. What I'm saying is we're looking at statistics here. And it was always said back in the day, Alaska had more men than it ever had women. So if you go into fish in a pond, you try to find the one that's stocked with the best fish.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I made this face, but I had to pop out the chat, and then I had to go back online. I didn't realize I was in top chat, and I was missing a lot of parts of the conversation. Okay. So I'm not going to ask you that. Okay, so I want to ask you your thoughts on body count. and not necessarily a woman's body count, and you got your body count under lock and key. Um, do you?
I will give you this. Back in the 80s, if a woman was more than 3 men, she was considered loose. Today's day and age, it can be probably anywhere between 10 and 15. And that also depends on the group of people. If this person has hung around them their whole lives and knows their background, that changes.
I know the 80 standards are getting done in a night these days. This broads do it. Anyway, we're not even going to get into that. So, okay. So,
Well, you're talking about body count. I mean, that all comes down with it.
yeah, I mean, it's just.
And you were saying something about the fact that women are still, what's the word I want?
Judged harshly on their sexual desires.
Well, no, there's still a double standard. If a woman sleeps with the same amount a man has, she's just a piece. Her value goes down with the more men she's slept with. Now, I don't know how that works out with all the other kind of communities, but I know in the straight communities that has always been a standard.
I'm wondering. I don't know. I would think that. I don't know. I don't know the other. I don't know the rules of the other communities. I'm just assuming that they would have the same ones, but maybe not. Okay. So, but there is a difference, though. There is a difference between the sexes, And again, like I say, I'm all for a woman being whoever and whatever and enjoying everything that life has to offer her, but you just have to understand what comes with that. So if you're willing to trade off these multiple partnered pleasures for maybe a perception in society, then go for it. If you really don't give a damn. But I don't think most women want to do that. I think a lot of women do have a lot of closeted desires and things that they have to keep suppressed because they don't want to, be judged harshly. So I do feel bad for women, but it kind of is what it is.
As soon as any woman's body count comes, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but as soon as any woman's body count comes to be public, her value goes immediately down.
Mm-hmm. What do you think but what about Kim Kardashian?
I didn't have a whole lot of value with them before they started, so that doesn't really affect me in some ways. The sad part is they're sort of either being a representation of what's going on in today's society with multiple partners and multiple families and all that, or they're just doing their own thing, which is probably a little bit of both. People don't seem to stay in relationships.
No.
Now.
They don't. So there's too many options, and that's why, especially in America, everything is crumbling. We have too many options with the apps and there's too much connection. So it's like if something goes wrong, well, I got 30 other motherfuckers trying to holler at me in some message or somewhere, somehow, some way, and so people feel like the grass is always greener. But the grass is not always green on the other side. The grass is greener where you water that motherfucker, and it has not been raining out here in Texas, and the grass is fucking brown. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But yeah, they don't stay in relationships these days. I completely agree.
Well, I think part of it is that, we've had this conversation before that there's this element of people not wanting to go below the surface. And I'm not going to say that shallow thinking didn't go back on in days gone by. However, because it's less stigmatized or there's less social punishment for it, it's like it's given a green light. And whether it's okay or not, people are like, well, so-and-so's doing it and they're not getting in trouble, so why can't I?
Yeah.
Or the old thing that, when we were growing up, it's like, hey, if your friend, Jill was jumping off a bridge, would you do it too? And I'm going, well, if I got a rope tied to my back, I might.
I used to always say if I might land on a fat person. But
okay, and I know we've kind of strained off, but body count and body types are all surface
Do you think? But I mean, I think that the deeper stuff is important. But at
Mhm.
first count, I mean, at first sight, I think our animalistic nature is the initiator of everything. Because when you first see someone and you're like, hey, that person looks good, or you find this person attractive, you don't immediately go to, I wonder what their IQ is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably go
Mhm.
into a more physical response or thought before you go into a more, I don't know, familial perspective or something. I don't know. So I think that it's important that we tend to overlook the initial physical nature. And I do it myself too because I say lies but it is important. Initial attractiveness, those things like that. They're very important to the
Okay,
connection.
I read something many years ago that said within the first 15 seconds of contact with two people, they know whether or not there's a connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that, whether or not it's a work situation, whether it's a personal situation, whether or not it's anything. Once it gets more cerebral and you find that there's an intellectual connection, that's what keeps it going.
Yeah.
But if we never dig that deep, we don't know. And here's another thought. Look at, was it Magic Johnson or Wilt Chamberlain who had all these women? What's the value of that guy compared to the woman that remained a virgin until she got married? Where do you put those on that list?
That guy was a fucking superstar. I mean,
Yeah, more ways than one.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you understand?
But that's what I'm saying is the men get the prep and the men get the perks of it and they get the back slapping for it, and the women's expected to wear the veil and wear white at her wedding.
But I think it's only fair though.
That's the double standard that still goes on today.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
not as harsh as it ever was, but it's definitely still there. There's this expectation that women should be put up on a pedestal, whether or not they are, is something completely different.
Okay, so do you think that a woman with a lower body count should be placed higher upon a pedestal than a woman with a higher body count?
I don't judge other women like that, so that's one of those places that I don't have an answer for you.
Okay.
Because every woman sleeps with a man or a partner for their own reasons, and that's not to be judged.
All right, let's play a hypothetical game here. Okay,
Sure.
we're gonna trade positions. Okay, I'm gonna be you and you're gonna be me.
Okay.
So say you were me, right? And you just happen to be out in the field looking for uh let's say you're looking
I
for
hit it and
marriage.
quit it.
No, let's say you're looking for marriage, right?
Okay.
What would be the factors most important to you as a black man in America looking for a mate to marry?
That there's much of an intellectual connection as well as a physical one. Because you're a very bright man and you've gone to college.
Yeah, drop that. Just like
Okay. Not the point, though. You seek higher education and you're far from stupid. We still tend to cling to our water level.
Okay.
I mean, do you think that you can go 25 or 30 years with somebody that's dumb as a bat?
Yeah, as long as they listen. I honestly, like, so hear me out, right? Because
Oh, good God, that is such a male answer.
no, hear me out, and again, it's just hear me out. Because it can be very difficult to deal with a person who is too intelligent. Because then, it's always got to be having the last word, always got to be right, or all those things. And these are not things that I care about personally. But if I was to have to deal with someone for 25, 30 years, and 25, 30 years of that shit would probably make me venture out and seek other opportunities.
So you're telling me somebody dumb would keep you from not venturing out?
Yeah, as long I mean I don't need a rocket scientist. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for who was Marie Curie. Who was that scientist? I don't know. I don't. There's not too
Yeah.
many lady scientists. But anyway, but like I say, it's all I need you to do for a woman is to be a place of peace from the world. That's all. That's it. Like when I'm here with you in this space that we're in, just don't, be the place that I can just let my guard down a little bit, like, and not be so uptight. Just be a place where I'm not dealing with tension. I don't want to fucking argue and do all that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to somebody who makes you feel comfortable. All that other shit is unnecessary. Yeah. So yeah. Hey Jen, what's the motherfucking deal?
That is definitely a challenge.
Yeah. So like, I mean, so intellectual to me, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love a good spirited conversation. You know what I mean? But to me, it's not a fact. Like, I don't think a woman's, as long as she's not get a check dumb, you know what I'm saying, or like out of there
Yeah.
inflicted or something like that. Whatever. Pardon me if that was offensive. But it's just like I'm not. That's not really a concern. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a situation. There's good women all along the spectrum. Women, I think we look at stuff differently as men and women. So I guess.
Okay. Yeah, there's a difference between having simple ideas rather than being intellectually challenged.
Yeah.
And I think that might be where you're going for. You don't want somebody that's dumb, but you don't need somebody that's got 4 law degrees.
Yeah, unless, she's a lawyer and I'm a criminal or some shit, but I don't even need that, because then she's going to be nagging me about my criminal lifestyle. I don't want none of that shit. But nah, you definitely don't. So, I mean, like, I guess, I know that people do that type of shit for image and things like that, but in reality, all those people do that shit for image. They out fucking cheating and doing something because they're not really happy with the person they're with, because they're just doing that so society looks at them a certain way. I'd rather a motherfucker who, gets me, I get them. It ain't got to be. I'm a simple person, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't have to be a whole lot of extra shit, going on. So like I say, intellect, it's cool, but it wouldn't be a top priority for me.
Well, as jumping back into my female self, I think that I've been challenged into finding men that are stand up. And I don't have to I would love to be. I was a stay-at-home wife and did all that for years and years and years. However, I ended up making most of the household decisions. So it wasn't like I had the traditional marriage that way. And those are even harder to find when you're looking for something specific. The more specific you're looking for, the more of a diamond it is.
Okay.
Because you're whittling away and it's under a pressure keg to figure out exactly what works for you or works for them.
But what if you're digging for a diamond that ain't there, when you could have had maybe a little bit of gold?
Yeah, I've had 1 or 2 that I've walked away from, and it happens. We're all at spaces in our life where we just might not be ready to accept something, or what's the word, settle. Because there's a difference between being in a relationship and settling for a relationship because you don't want to be alone, or you don't want to be you want somebody in your life.
That's a very, I'm going to save that because I want to get in that comment. What is settling? But we're not going to talk about it this evening. I got one more question for you, Ms. Bell. Then I'm going to take another call.
Sure.
And that is, do you feel like if a person does not disclose their body count, that it is probably a high number?
No. I think that people are evasive about their past because they haven't either one come to terms with it, or they don't feel it's their current partner's business until it needs to be.
Okay. Do you feel like
that's really, in jobs I've had where I've worked as a bartender, men would freely give you their numbers and say, "Hey, this is my body count," and going, "Ew, that's gross." And then there are other men who just don't.
So, do you think? And I didn't necessarily get into that, but we'll talk. So, you feel like a man with a higher body count is more of a turnoff?
Not necessarily. You could have somebody that was in long-term relationships or serial monogamy, but there's a lot of different women. He was just only with one at a time. There's a lot of factors going in it.
Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna leave it.
And the other thing this is something that I do want to say something about too, and I find that women who are plus size are stigmatized with being broken a lot more than men who are plus size.
What? Okay, so now I have to retract what I said because now we're going to have to delve into this comment you just made. So what do you mean? First, broken. Define what do you mean by broken?
Because the fact is that there's an expectation of women still keeping their physical body in shape and in tone. Mm-hmm. And when they're not, something about them is broken. Mm-hmm. They're lazy, they can't, they don't exercise, they're sloth, they just, don't care about themselves. Mm-hmm. Because it's on the outside and we don't see what's going on.
Okay. And what kind of response do you feel like men receive who are in that way?
Again, they get, "Oh, he's a teddy bear. He's just got a little bear belly." They excuse the behavior, mm-hmm. and they come down twice as hard on women about body type than men do.
You think so? So
now, on the other way, the ones that get men who are very thin and very skinny, they're the ones that get more negative comments because of their body type.
Interesting.
Because they're looked as scrawny and not strong and not to be able to be a protector. Again, using traditional society's margins to, whether somebody passes or fails.
Okay. I disagree. I feel as though now, and we have to look at the now because we are in the now. We can talk about things that have happened, recently, but things have changed dramatically, especially, where we're at here in 2023. And now, in this day and age, like just somebody put in the comments, Lizzo gets praised, is brave, is strong, is, amazing. Fat dude is just a dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and more than likely, women may say teddy bear, but men is they're gonna get you fat ass motherfucker. Dudes are gonna rag on their own. Women are not gonna rag on their fat friends. They'll talk about that fucking fat bitch. She ate all my fucking donuts. They'll talk about the bitch when she's not around. But dudes will talk about a person to their face, and so the fat dude either is gonna have to learn how to cap back, or lose weight, or sit there and be shameful about it, or whatever it is. That's the difference. Like the what's put on the mainstream kind of out there as far as the big girls and stuff is I think different from what's reality.
Well, the other thing too is Lizzo's sort of in a situation of her own because she's super talented. I mean, she's got the voice. Mm-hmm. She's a musician. Mm-hmm. Would I say that she was a plus size fashion model? No. I mean, she's dressed by costume designers. But the fact is, I mean, look at it a year ago when she was going to the basketball games and how she was dressed.
So, could that not be more
society and TMZ had a field day with it.
My thing is this, because you don't see people capping on big women who are dressed, more modestly. They're more covered up. The issues you see is when it comes to dressing in a certain way in certain clothing that
You mean
just
ratchet?
yeah, more so. And I think everybody gets ragged on for that type of stuff. You got to know your body type and what
Absolutely.
looks appropriate and what don't look appropriate. And this is the same thing that would look appropriate or not look appropriate on a smaller woman. And if a smaller woman wore something that was trashy, she would get talked about the same way. And so I think what it is that people are projecting their own personal feelings about maybe something that
Mhm.
they're dealing with, and then they're looking at it like, okay, society's judging me for this, but that's not the case. Like a lot of times,
Mm.
you're something that you feel a certain way about that bothers you, and because it's not the norm, we make it worse than what it really is. I don't think that people are just going around. Okay, let me not say that. I did see a Mexican truck the other day that said no fat tortas on it, but other than that, nobody else other than that guy in that green truck is going around assaulting fat women or insulting fat women randomly
Okay,
for no
I'm gonna
reason.
tell you something right now. White guys do it a lot.
What?
Yeah, that is something that growing up, white men were known for the no fat chick signs on their trucks.
Really? Well, maybe do you think that it had to do with maybe there's a possibility it could mess up the suspension or something? I mean, it could have been a logistical or a mechanical
Yeah,
reason why they
don't.
didn't.
Yeah, you're justifying and no.
I'm just I'm just
I mean,
asking. I
you're
mean,
talking about
I'm talking-
white privilege and anyway, it's a whole other topic.
all right, Miss Bell. You know I enjoy speaking with you, and this conversation could go on forever.
Absolutely. And I
But
guess I made up for last night,
yes,
so
ma'am, absolutely.
can't wait to hear from everybody else.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in and getting it started.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Mary, I got something black for you. Terrible. Let's answer the next call. Who got calling in? What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
This is D the Gamma.
D, the motherfucking five slammer gamma. What's going on this evening? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to hear from you because I wanted to talk to you last night, but we was getting a little long, and Ashley was talking about some bullshit, and then Josh was getting trolled, so we had to you didn't get a chance to talk to you. But I want to know your thoughts because you were saying some things in the chat yesterday. I'd like you to kind of expand on that, and I just want to know your thoughts about the conversation tonight.
Okay. Well, like I said in the chat last night, I didn't get heated about what was being said about us as women. The thing that got me heated was the joke, because regardless of anybody's preference, you shouldn't be downing or talking bad about somebody else. If that's not your thing, that's fine. But to go in and making all these jokes, that's what had me heated. Because I'm like, you might not be Denzel Washington, so who gives you the right to sit around and talk about somebody being a car hat?
Okay.
That's what had me heated.
Okay. So you feel people are out of line with the things that they are saying.
Yeah, if that's not your thing, you don't disrespect somebody else. If that's not your thing, cool.
Okay. Okay.
Move around.
I can see that. I can see that. So I got a question though, because I do. There's a thing I do notice. Now it is inappropriate in society for to make fun of larger people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you never hear anybody complain when larger people make fun of skinnier people. The old she's so skinny she could hula hoop through a Cheerio type thing. Do you think it's fair that it's like that? Or
No.
should it be fair? Nobody should make fun of anybody.
Nobody should make fun of anybody because you don't know what someone has gone through or is going through. On the skinny side, they might have eating disorder. Why are you beating down that person or making fun of that person and you don't know their situation to why they're skinny? That's just my thought on it. You know, I grew up being picked on for my size. Like I said before, I came in this world a 10-pound baby. So I've never known skin. So that's something I've always had to accept and deal with. You know, I've been smaller. Like at my smallest, I was like 190. But I'm 5'4". So a 190 frame on something that short is still chubby. You know, at my highest, I'm not ashamed to admit it, I was 418 pounds. You know, but I lost the weight and got down to a normal size of now. I'm still overweight, but I'm working on me. But they don't get somebody else to try to discount me or say I'm not desirable because I might not be their cup of tea. Please believe I've never had an issue of getting someone.
Yeah, now you mentioned that. Now you were saying that that even though people were saying what they were saying, that men were still definitely in the DMs.
Oh, yeah, stay in the DMs on a daily basis.
Mm. So, do you feel like a lot of dudes do that? They play one way in public, but then in the background they own to something else.
Yep. Yep, I think, and I've experienced it myself, like someone who was really into me didn't want his friends to know that he liked me. You know, so it's a lot of that. They worry about what their boys got to say or what their friends got to say, but they slick on the DL, want a big girl.
Now I got a question, Dita Gamma.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very important question.
Okay.
And I'll give you all the time that you need to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
How many recipes in your cookbook?
You talking about my account?
Yeah, no, I need to know. No, I just want to know recipes in your cookbook. We're going to get to body. I mean your actual cookbook. How many recipes you got in your repertoire in your cookbook?
Well, that's for me to know and for somebody that I'm interested to find out.
Oh, see, I ain't even trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? There we go. There we go. All right. What's the body count?
Well, to be honest, before I got married, I got married young. I got married at 18. I only had one person that I had dated before I got with my husband.
Okay.
After I left my husband, I've had 10 relationships. You notice I've said relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my body count.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Interesting. What do you think is a high body count in your opinion?
Well, for women, like Bill said, it's a little different because a woman can sleep with 5 guys and somebody else will think that's too high. The next guy might think one other person is too high. So it really depends. But
your opinion.
my opinion is, I would say anything up in 20s, 30s, I would think would be kind of high.
20s or 30s kind of high?
Yeah. Because you got to think about somebody's lifetime. Depending on when they first started dating until, they're at now age. So, I mean, that could be a lot in between that.
Okay. That's interesting. That is very interesting. What is your body type preference in a man?
In a man, ugh. I don't really have a preference for his body type, but I just like a man taller than me. You know, I'm only 5'4", so that's pretty much everybody's taller than me.
Yeah,
But
that's setting the bar low. No pun intended. Uh, you know, so just anybody taller than you is kosher.
yeah, and I mean, I guess look wise, I lean more towards light skinned guys, but I do like long. Um, I don't really have whole lot of preference. Long as they treat me good and we, can get along, we have like-minded ideas and thoughts of what we want in the future, I can pretty much rock with. Because I know looks fade. People's weight fluctuates. I mean, all the stuff that might initially attract you to somebody, you be with them 5, 10 years, things might not be in the same place.
Yeah.
And so you just gonna throw them away because they don't look exactly like they did when you first met them.
Well, some people like that. Some people have certain expectations. Okay. So as long as you're nice, you're more of a personality person, is what you're saying.
I am a personality, respect, people's motivations and inspirations and goals and all this stuff attracts me.
Okay. So, and I believe those things are all valid, but the first initial, I guess, level of attraction is always going to be physical. It's always going to be seeing somebody. So there has to be a thing
Yeah.
that just does it for you. There's a thing that flips your switch about the opposite sex. That is a preference for you. It has to be something.
Their
that
eyes.
just, so eyes.
Their eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for eyes and a nice smile. I don't know what that is, but like my ex-husband, I'm going to use him case in point.
Okay.
Everybody used to talk about me so bad because they said my husband looked like a monkey, like a gorilla, that he was ugly. And that might be true, but he had some nice eyes. I liked his eyes.
So tell me more about Caesar's eyes.
I, I don't know. He just had some pretty brown eyes. He had the long eyelashes.
Long eyelashes.
Yeah, I mean, and he had a nice smile. And at the time I met him, he was a nice person.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Okay.
But he was ugly. I ain't gonna lie. By all standards, he was not a cute man.
Okay. So what happened that? No, never mind. I don't even want those. This another conversation. We won't go there. Okay. So you feel like society has a double standard on body types for men and women?
Yes, definitely. Because, I mean, think about the whole Barbie thing. Most men like the women with the top heavy and bottom heavy. They want the little skinny waist. And they think that that's how all women are supposed to look. And that's why so many women are killing themselves trying to fit into that mold to get the men.
So
We are a little bit different. There's a lot of women who like men with a little beer belly. The dad bods, that's what they call them, dad bods. They don't want them extra muscular or real skinny, but they like the whole dad bod thing. So yeah, it's definitely a societal thing going on with that.
So you don't think women have a standard of preference similar to like men have that kind of standard of preference?
I think women do have a preference, but I think women are more apt to accept a man who doesn't fit that criteria than the reverse, than men do.
Do you think gender roles play a factor in that?
Yes, I do. I do.
So a man that would have to say provide for this woman, do you think that he would be more likely to have standards for her than a woman who is going to be provided for? Or I mean, I think that might be that part. I don't know.
Hmm,
I don't know, but
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just trying to think about what you was asking. Can you kind of repeat what you
Let
was?
me refer you because I did kind of word it awkward. So I say so. You say in a situation that women are more accepting, but I said, but because of the gender roles of women generally being protected and provided for, would you think that that's kind of like a trade off versus a man who is going to be choosing a woman he's going to protect and provide for? So he would be a little bit more picky because he's going to be giving up mainly money and everything else if it goes wrong. If it don't work out.
Yeah, I think that's the truth in that. But I think too, like with men, again, I think it has to do with maybe what his homies will say or just a look. Like you don't want to be out in public with this woman who society says might not fit the mold. So he's not gonna support that. He's not gonna want to take care of a woman that doesn't fit what society says she should look like. I mean, I think I don't know, but
Do you,
I think it is some kind of trade off there.
do you feel like society's become more accepting of bigger women?
A little bit. We ain't all the way there. You know, and stuff like Lizzo, the stuff that she pulled kind of set us back a little bit.
Not set y'all back.
Yeah, because, I mean, we were making good strides, you know, before she started doing all this antics with her butt hanging out and stuff like that. You know, I like Lizzo, but I don't like a lot of stuff she does because it's attention seeking.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you have to do that to be seen. I don't wear shirts and I know how to dress, you know. And I think people respect you more when you step into the room looking like you got sense.
Do you think that a man can have too high of a body count?
Yeah.
What is that number?
Like I said, probably about 20, 30.
So you feel like a man with a body count over 30 is just too much?
Yeah, they're doing too much.
Do you feel like men and women are treated differently for having higher body counts?
Definitely. Most definitely. Mhm.
Do you think that Maria has a beer belly?
I don't even know her.
Well, if you were just to just guess randomly based on just what you know about North American people, would you say yes or no?
No.
Oh, man, too much time on my head. Okay, so let me see. I did ask you what your body preference was.
Mhm.
What do you think the average woman's preference is?
The average woman, um, I think most women, like I said, the men kind of got the little dad body. You know, not too built, not too muscular, you know, but fit. Um, I don't know, tall. I know most women like a tall man. I don't know any woman that really wants a short man, but
See,
I'm sure they're out there.
so you will see the short man getting the short end of the stick. That's prejudice right there. Nobody going to bat for the short man. We ain't nobody talking about how society is judging them unfairly. That's unjust.
I agree. I mean, I agree. But I just know that women who are short, they might date a short man because they want somebody that they could be equal to. But, I mean,
I don't think two short people should date each other because short people are angry. And it just sounds like that sounds like a case of domestic violence. Man, all short people are angry.
agree.
They can't reach shit on the top
Well,
shelf. Always asking for shit. Can you get this for me, please? No, I can't do shit. I don't work here. So okay, okay. I'm just curious about that. Okay, so you say 30 is too high, and I find it interesting, and that people are judged differently in society.
yeah.
So, why do you think it's easier for a man or a woman to get laid?
I think it's easier for a man to get laid than a woman.
Explain, please.
Because, like, men literally, all they got to do is come up to a woman, say the right thing, or make her feel like he's really into her and show her some niceness or whatever. And she might go, and he could play this role for as long as it takes for him to get what he wants.
You feel like that?
One, I think we think a little bit more about long term, like, we don't want to be a hoe, so we don't want to sleep with him on the first night. And so, we try to hold out as long as possible. So I just think it's easier for a man
That's a
because they don't have those reservations.
But I think that's a lot of work. See, that's what because I have a certain set of beliefs, and my beliefs are different than, I guess, the average person's beliefs. My views on things are a little bit different, but they don't necessarily coincide with how society views a lot of shit. But again, I think you're absolutely wrong about that. Yeah, this is why. Because you're thinking long term, right? And so you're right about what you're saying because that's the thing. But I think in the scenario of easier, a woman could literally go outside in the middle of the street, probably in the fucking middle of the night with nobody even outside, and bust it open in the middle of the street. Niggas will start appearing like fucking Candyman. They'll just start showing up out of nowhere, and if she with it, they'll get it. If a dude go outside in the middle of the road in the middle of the night and pull his junk out, start whipping it around, he's going to jail. He's going to get arrested. He's not going to get any action. He's going to jail. That nigga going to catch a case. Like, it's going to be all over for brother man. Like, so I'm just saying it's way easier for women because niggas don't care. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a shit. But it just takes a little bit more effort.
I can see both. I can see it. But both of them going to jail.
No,
you out there with.
Man, the women ain't going to jail. They finna get laid. Somebody going to fuck around their wife there, bro. She might get a wedding ring for the night. Niggas out here is crazy these days. They like to. It's over with. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Right.
I got a question real quick. But all the ladies in the chat, niggas, I don't care about y'all niggas this evening. All the ladies in the chat, please post your height. I need to confirm something that was said yesterday. So if all the ladies in the chat currently who are actively in the chat, even if you're not active, post your height, please. I need to see something. All right. And you said you were 5'4", correct?
5'4".
Okay.
5'4".
Okay, that's with or without heels.
That's without heels.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure. I'm just messing with you. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Let me see. All right. I think that's all I'm gonna harass you with this evening.
So I answered everything you wanted to get.
Yeah, I think for the most part. Have you ever been to Pound Town?
Have I been to Pound Town?
Yeah.
I haven't even heard that song. I only have heard like a chorus of it. I don't understand the song.
That it's a terrible song. I think you are doing yourself a favor by not listening to it. Because it's bad. You're gonna definitely lose a few brain cells if you listen to it.
I've
So,
heard people talk about it, but I have not listened to that song. I don't even know who sings it.
oh yeah, well you good. You good. Y'all pardon me. Yeah, just don't go looking for it. Don't search it. Don't do any of that. Just stay away from it. It's bad.
What is it though, for real? I need somebody to let me know what it is.
That's the name of the song. The song is called Pound Town.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know what that is. But it sounds like from what they're talking about, is it just having sex? Is it just talking about having sex?
She's talking about getting her back broke in and doing other various sexual deeds. It's terrible. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, cool. Hey, all the freaks unite. I'm cool with all that shit. But the bitch just can't rap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's just all off. All this new age offbeat rap is the shit that's pissing me off. Like, if the shit was jamming, I'd be like, oh, this shit go hard. I see, but this shit is terrible. It's just like, down. And it sounds like if like a Sesame Street character was just rapping. It's terrible, man. Like, and it's just the most ghetto shit. Just like, it's the most ghetto shit I've ever seen. No, it's not. It's probably like in the last 3 years, the most ghetto shit I've ever seen.
I listen to old school music all day, every day. So I don't really listen to the new stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how it escaped me. I listen to old school.
Oh man, you gotta stay in the old school. I agree. That's the place to be because this new age shit ain't it. This new age shit is not it.
Yeah. Well, my time. I appreciate you. I mean, I wasn't going to call in because I want nobody to get the wrong idea that I got an attitude. I don't.
No. Just like I said, I wanted to hear your opinion, so I'm glad that you did call in. I truly do appreciate it that you came in and gave some perspective because I think that's what the den is all about. Like, we have people from every fucking corner of life doing all kind of different shit. Conservative, liberal, happy, sad, white, black, pink, purple, orange, gray. I think there's some aliens in here. But, it's just, and so to be able to give a perspective on something we're talking about, especially a first-hand perspective or, to provide some insight from a different way, is very necessary. So I thank you for calling in and being able to do that. So I definitely appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Yeah. I'm going to get back in this chat because I know people say some shit. So I'm going to go and read them.
Go set them off. go give this shit. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a bit, Miss D. Again, I appreciate you calling in, and I thank you for sharing your time with me this evening.
All right, Honcho. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, man. Good night. So that's Miss D. again. I would say for asking 6'3". What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
What's good, Hunter? This is Metal.
Let me gather myself before we get. Cause I already know where this is going to go. So, all right. Cool. Okay, I already knew this was going to go. All right, Mr. J. Bell, how are you doing this evening, sir? First, good to talk to you. I'm glad we got somebody to come on, call in, and represent for the fellas this evening. How you doing this evening?
I had to, man. I'm doing all right. I just wanted to let everybody know that DeMarcus tweaks in the mirror to Pound Town and talks about his booty hole being brown.
Wow.
But that's neither here nor there.
Wow, and that's why I figured we were going there early. I didn't realize that's how far we were going early. Let me go ahead and give me one of my little Welch's fruit snacks. This is going to be one of them calls. All right, so I believe that about DeMarcus first. And then second, let's talk about preferences, right? Preferences. So
Right.
as a man, you know, how do you what is your preference as a man when it comes to dating women?
Well,
What is
see,
your
that's the difference between men and women. So when you ask a man his preference, is we just talking about hitting and quitting, or am I trying to is there a foreseeable future with this woman?
all
Because
right?
if it's just hitting and quitting, then I'll grab her by the rolls, I'll grab her by the bones. You know, ain't no preference for me. I get it how it is. Maybe not 418 pounds, but you know,
My nigga.
there's
Okay.
some leeway there. And that's not me trying to body shame the lovely woman that was on the line just now. But 418 pounds, that's a healthy figure at this point. We're just gonna be honest. I would definitely try to encourage that person to be healthier.
Okay.
I would not shame her, but I would try to make her be healthier.
Okay.
With that being said, I did hit plenty of big bitches in my life. I
As
do
a
like a BBW.
Yes, have I. And so, you know, you gotta respect it. You know, there's a lot of niggas that's ashamed. They're gonna try to, you know, yeah, I want to pull a moped technique, you know, and, you know, it's fun to ride, but you don't want to see nobody see you riding it. I understand that. But so let's just say the physical attraction. Let's say hit it and quit it. The thing that you appreciate, or the thing that sets it off about a woman for you. That's I guess the ideal. By the time I don't know how you would explain it, but if you were to say
So,
your personal preference,
so what do I find most
yeah,
attractive in
yeah.
a woman,
If
basically?
you out and about in public, right, and you just walk around and you see a broad that makes you turn around and say, "God damn, what does that woman
Yeah,
look
it's
like?"
usually that ass. It's usually that ass.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
okay,
Nice little wagon behind her. Looks like she could pull something. You know, that type of thing.
okay,
But it could be the eyes. It could be the breast. It could just be what she got on. It could be the way she carrying herself. It could be a lot of different things.
okay.
She could just be out there acting cool, you know?
So do you discriminate against the natural versus the artificial ass?
Depends on the doctor.
Oh, oh wow, that's a good one.
Hey, you know, like they say, you get what you pay for.
That's very true. Yeah, that's very true. Because there's some motherfuckers out here who need their licenses, their doctor, surgeon license
Revoked.
revoked. Yes, yeah, for the work,
Like a
the
motherfucker.
shit that you
Out here
let
killing
walk out
bitches.
your office, you should be ashamed of yourself for telling this woman that she made a wise decision. And these women don't realize like how much their lives they taking off getting these fucking
Yeah, for
BBLs and
real.
shit. You're dying. Anyway, okay, cool. So let's hop over to body count for a second, right? Okay.
All right.
Well, actually, before we get to that, how do you feel about sexy red? Do you think sexy red is actually sexy?
Definitely not. Definitely an oxymoron when it came to picking her name.
Yeah.
But hey, if you like it, I love it.
I was curious because I didn't think she was what you would necessarily call red in the terms, you know, the black community
Right, she's
terms.
very mocha
Yeah.
complected, but you know.
Yeah, and then sexy also. Not, you know, anyway, but you know, hey, you know, it's just, you know, like you say, they do things ironically these days. I don't know how it all
Yeah, you
works.
can identify whatever you want to nowadays, you know.
Yeah, I comprehend. I understand. Okay, cool. You mentioned clothes earlier. I'm not going to get into that. Clothes, you know, sundress season is always a wonderful time of the year. Nobody needs to expand on that too much. Do you feel like preferences have changed with society over time? So, say maybe the '90s versus to where we are now.
For sure, for sure. Well, I think societal norms have changed,
Yeah.
and what's acceptable has changed, and what's considered PC has changed. So nowadays, with the whole Lizzo movement and body shaming and fat models and all this stuff, which is nothing wrong with it, because there are some very attractive bigger women.
Yeah.
But with that being said, you ain't gotta push it on me. You ain't gotta make me like big women if that's not what I like. That's where I feel like we at today in society. Accept everybody. Why? Why do I gotta accept this big bitch? I ain't gotta accept her. Maybe she needs to stop eating so much.
Mm.
I'm not saying that's how I personally feel. I'm just saying if that's how you feel, why is that not okay?
So you feel like if a person is outside of the norms and they have an issue with it, then they should find a way to get within the norms.
I feel like we should stop trying to box everybody into a norm. You can feel how you want to feel. If I want my girl to have a 6-pack abs and be able to wake up every day and go running with me or whatever the case is, live this healthy lifestyle, well, that's just what I prefer, and I shouldn't be shamed for it. And vice versa. If you want a bitch that'll sit on the couch with you and eat honey buns all fucking day and be on my 600-pound life, well, hey, you know, whatever floats your fucking boat.
All right. What would you do? Here's a good one. Here's one I actually and I've skipped. And I meant to ask the ladies this one. I did not ask. But you as a man, I think is actually better.
They wasn't gonna give you an honest answer.
Yeah, this is going to be a better suited for a man anyway. Where is the line between thick and fat?
Usually at the waist. Usually a waistline thing. You know. But once again, you know, it's a spectrum. You know, it's all about what you like. Because I didn't see some guys call some girls thick, and I'm like, You know, not technically my definition of thick, but.
Let's talk about the body count. What is too high of a body count for a woman?
I think personally, for her to go forward and possibly meet somebody and be in a productive relationship, anything over 7 is too much.
Okay.
Because women don't process sex the same.
I agree.
So, because a man can have sex with 30 women, and a man gonna feel like he that nigga. But a woman could have sex with 7 dudes, and by the 8th dude, all these niggas ain't shit. And you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference in the mentality. A man having more sex builds his confidence, whereas with a woman, it tends to tear it down because those end up being bad memories or bad situations with a man.
That's a very, very interesting point. Yeah. Okay.
And for a man, even if it is a bad situation, we walk away from it saying, "Well, hey, at least I got the pussy.
This is true.
I still hit it."
Yeah. Okay. That's right. I had to jot that down. I'm back writing in the notebook, so I had to jot that down. All right.
Free game.
Do you want to share your body count with the people, or will you resign like the previous callers did as well?
I would tell y'all if I honestly remembered it. Like if I had to do like a guesstimate, I would say I'm probably in the mid-80s somewhere.
Okay.
But that's just a guesstimate. It's bitches I done forgot. Shit that I don't know how that counts. So you know.
Yeah, I mean it happens. If you don't remember, it doesn't count. I mean, shit. I mean, how can I count it if I can't verify it? Right?
If I can't, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
So, I mean, so it is what it is. Okay, cool. Do you feel like has a woman ever asked you about your body count?
Yeah, they all do.
And how do they respond?
Well, that's the thing about women is that they not honest with us, and they not honest with themselves. They say they want a good guy. They say they want everything that you would describe as a simp is what they say they want. But if they find out the dude that they talking to don't really get pussy like that, they get dry instantly. They don't want a dude that they perceive doesn't know how to please them. And they look at a man, the more sexual partners a man has, the more likely he is to know what to do with them.
Okay. Shout out to Vince. What's up, Vince? Easy Money in the house. Anybody else I missed? H&M, if I may not have dissed.
Yeah, shout out to Vince. That was a good call you had. I like Vince Wilford. Oh, you were talking about a different Vince. My bad. My bad.
Goodness gracious.
Sorry about that, Hunter. My bad.
So, body counts.
Right.
So, we have this kind of generation of music for the ladies that is promoting very
Being a
promiscuous
whore.
activity. Yeah. Do you think
Yeah,
there's
being
a
a whore.
do you think a woman is looked at differently? In both of these cases, they're promiscuous women. But if she carries herself more ladylike, but engages in more promiscuous activity behind closed doors, versus a woman who is just outwardly open with her whoredom.
I would say that I respect the woman that hides it, just for at least making it seem like she's carrying herself as a lady. But that is the scarier one to deal with, because at least when you know this hoe is a hoe, well, it's on you when she fuck you over. But when the bitch make you think that she classy and shit, and she still fuck you over, that's emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Man, boy, look at here. So, okay. I don't. I mean, I appreciate you being very straightforward with your answers, and you know, I don't know if there's any additional thing there. Do you look at it differently though? Like you said, it almost like earlier when you said if we're talking about just a hit and quit type situation versus a something long term. Do you think it matters? Does the body count matter with a friend versus a friend with benefits versus someone that you're going to engage in a relationship with?
No, because it's nothing. It's never meant to be anything more than just a sexual interaction. So why would I care? Besides like the STD factor and stuff like that. But other than that, hell no, it don't matter. I don't see no future with you anyway. So. But see, that goes back to that difference that I was saying with men and women, because a woman is always going to look at a man to see, can he provide for me? Can he provide me with the things that I want? I don't care how he look or none of that. Where he from, this and that, none of that matters. Can he give me the things that I want? This nigga can be ugly as a nigga off the Gremlin.
Oh no.
As long as he can make a bitch believe that she gonna get what she want out the situation, she'll ride with it.
Yeah, definitely selling dreams in this camp. Y'all always got to be careful. There's a lot of okie dokes out there. Okay. I don't think I have any further questions.
Well, it was a good talk, Honcho. I'm glad that I could finally provide some truth to this discussion. Ladies, I just wish y'all would do better. Just stand on what y'all say. That's all we asking.
I can agree. All right, Mr. J. Melville, I appreciate it, sir. Thank you for calling in, representing for the fellas. We're gonna see if anybody gonna follow up with some more truth.
All right. Well, shout out to DJ Rita. Keep filling that A gap.
Oh man, you gotta get it, sir.
I'm going.
Yes, sir. You have a good evening.
You too.
Oh man. Terrible. All you people are terrible people. 335. What's the motherfucking deal? Hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
What's going on, Huncho?
What's good?
Yeah, man, long time no see.
I'm trying to hold on. hold on. This ain't D Love, is it?
No, it's me, Huncho.
What?
It's
It's
been a little
that
minute.
nigga D Love. What? Oh, see, yes, it was a good night. All right, D Love, what's the motherfucking deal, Mr. D Love? How you doing, man? How have you been, sir?
It's been all right. I've been busy, been on the grind. So busy with school, work. I've been driving trucks since we last spoken, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, now I remember the last time we talked, you were telling me that you were in truck driving school. Now you were saying you were having a few interactions with some ditches or some shit. And so I was actually wondering about that because I be on the road a lot. I be seeing trucks. I'm like, I hope D Love ain't in one of these trucks. Next, me about to run me off the road. Nah, but how's everything turning? How you enjoying driving trucks, man?
I'll be honest with you, I enjoy the pace.
Oh, okay.
But it's a chill job, though. It ain't stressful. I'm local, so I'm doing just around Texas and home every night. So,
Okay.
but I'm gonna have to give me a higher paying job. But yeah, I'm currently studying to try to get into cybersecurity.
Okay. Cool.
So that's the plan. But yeah, it's been good this way so far. And how you been, Nacho? It's good to see you back. You haven't really been on a sauce.
Yeah, I got because the sauce requires a little bit more effort to do because the sauce must be nurtured in such a way. The den, we're a bunch of crazy people in here, so I can kind of be a little bit, it's a little bit easier to kind of jump in and do it then. But we definitely the season is basically started, so I've been doing some work this weekend to get the sauce back on track because I should have been on it. But yeah, it's the sauce gonna be good. Trust me, we got some sauce coming.
I like to do that.
So I gotta get your thoughts though, man. So we talking about body types and we talking about body counts. So body types, we know everybody has a preference. Everybody is, everybody's attracted to something. What is your body type preference in a woman, Mr. D Love?
Yeah, I think I can speak for most men on this one. But my preference is more on the slimmer side. Small waist, big hips. Just about, yeah.
So slim, small waist. Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Most men have this preference whether they be honest about it or not.
Yeah. What is?
I think. Go ahead.
No, yeah, because there was a question, and again, to the fellas that are in here now, if you didn't answer yes, even if you were in here yesterday, I want to know y'all's answer too. That was the question I kept forgetting to ask. What is the hard number weight limit for a woman, in your opinion, that you would date?
That I would date. Okay, so the woman I'm dating right now, she about a good 115, 120.
Okay. So that's.
But you said like, what is the limit?
Yeah, like what is the high limit for you? What is you're like, okay, this is the absolute most a woman could weigh, and that I would date.
I haven't put a lot of thought into it, so it'll be hard to give a definite number. But let's go with 150.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Okay. Shout out to D Love for having way higher standards than everybody else in the team. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what's up.
I ain't knocking nobody.
No. These are your preferences. That's the whole point of it. This is this is why it's great because everybody else's was like. I think everybody else is between like 250 and 300. So yeah.
Jesus, not.
Yeah. So shout out to D Love for holding it down. That's crazy. Okay. So that's your preference. So you got a preference. Do you think that society has a double standard when it comes to men and women's body types?
You said man and women's body conscience?
Body types.
Body type? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. So I agree with what I've been hearing throughout the night. I heard the women say that women are, if I'm saying this right, I think women are more pressured to be at a certain weight, like a slim build. Did I hear that correct? I think I heard most of the women saying that. And I do agree because, let's be real, Hunter, men has always had preferences for women who are slim. And I think that's one of those things that are biologically wired within men. So, but the question was the double standard. So here's my take on this double standard issue between men and women who are overweight. I think women who are overweight have an exponentially more options than men who are overweight.
Why do you think
Exponentially more? Because you can go on Tinder, right? You have a woman who's overweight on Tinder. She's going to get matches.
What's Tinder?
You got a man. You can have a man who is slim and kind of like a celebrity type, and he's not going to have nearly as many matches as a woman. And that's just the fact.
Now, what is this? What is this? Where is this that you can go get these matches at?
You know what?
Where can you go get these matches at?
A lot of data. No, I'm not on these sites, but I'm looking at certain stats and other people who cover this kind of stuff. That's really where I get the information from. But I mean, Tinder. I guess that's really what I hear. Often when people do these studies, it's really Tinder. But
okay. So, D-Love, are you sexually active?
Thank you, Hunter. You about to get me in trouble.
Well,
Nah, Hunter, I'm. You know what?
Look, the next question I have to ask you is the question I've been asking everybody else, and that is about the body count. So you can refrain. I respect your decision.
No, I'm good. So the thing is, I like the other caller. I did lose count. And I'm not very proud of my past because I've been active, back in elementary. So, I mean, those are certain experiences I choose not to count, but I lost count if you want the exact body count number.
Would you? That response has definitely thrown me, for a loop. I'm not aware as to how to process that, but we'll circle back to that. Yeah. How about the Astros? So, if you were just to guesstimate, just a range, what would you put that at?
It's about 15.
Okay. That's not bad.
You know what?
That's not bad. Okay. So your body count is 15. All right. Or in the general vicinity of that, You knew they say, what was the shit that you're supposed to, what was the rule? You're supposed to divide a man's body count by 3. And a woman's, you're supposed to multiply it by 3 or some shit like that.
It's crazy out there.
Rule of 3. Shout out to Heidi. All right. So you like slimmer women, is what you've stated. You prefer a slimmer
Yes, sir.
chick. What are your feelings on larger women? Average, plus size, BBW, however you would define, up the scale. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not attracted to them. And if we're being honest, the vast majority of men are not either. So my thought about those women are the same as my thought about men who are that big. I mean, it's not healthy. I know you have this body positivity movement that is harming and lying to women, telling them that this is okay when it's really not. Okay. I'm losing my train of thought. I got to say, yeah, but like I said, I wanted to ask you a question, okay?
All right, go for it. What's up?
Because you notice that, throughout the body positivity movement, it's really pushed towards one. But how often do you see a body positivity campaign in favor of men who are plus size?
Oh, it's never. It was something I just saw the other day. I was, I think I was looking for. I was going to order some underwear or something online, and the site that I went to had all different types of shit. I guess it was like for everybody underwear type site, but on the site there's the women's section at the top of the thing, and there's a spectrum of women, right? Of all sizes. So all the women get drawers, all the women get granny panties. And then when you go down and you find the men's section, all the models are more fit. There's no fat dudes, there's no none of that going on. So there's obviously still, a double standard there when it comes to how society wants to view men and women. Women are being accepted now, but larger men are still kind of kicked to the wayside. You see a lot of you've seen I don't know if you were in the den when we shared it, but the big girls who were saying these are very big women who were saying they wouldn't date a big dude. So I think if you were to reverse it, a big dude would be like, well, I'm big, I date a big chick, fuck it, somebody be. But there's like this blockade or something where it's just it doesn't cross over, and big dudes are the ones that are losing, in a sense. I think.
Yeah, because I heard her throw out Lizzo a lot, and lately she's been shooting her shots at the slimmer model type celebrity. So you see the hypocrisy with the body positivity movement. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So my point is, while I am not attracted to larger women, I think that the society needs to stop marketing to people that it's okay to be big when it's really not. It's unhealthy. It is. Y'all watch My 600-Pound Life, and you look at the update of some of them characters, they're dead. I hate to say it, but it's really that. But so that's my thoughts on that. And I'm not trying to put down anybody, and I'm not one to, publicly humiliate someone, tell them they need to lose weight or anything like that. But the reality of it is, men do tell each other the truth, amongst each other. If a man is fat, people will tell him, you need to get your fat, he word to the gym and work out. And even if they didn't have men to tell them, they would see it in their options with women, right? They see that men who are in a gym working out, building that good physique, are going to have exponentially more options. So either, I'll tell you something, Hunter, as man, we don't get the luxury of living under a delusion.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
We have to live with the reality that, if we don't make more money, if we don't get into the gym, we're not going to have a lot of options as far as procreating. And we see that demonstrated by Lizzo. Even, she even goes after, like I said, men who are models and stuff like that. So, like I say, society will hold men accountable.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you like 95%. Because there's a, I'm not going to get into it, but I think there for the most part, most men, the majority of men will have to deal with women in a certain way. And then I think there are certain men who are able to do it in a different way.
My bad, Hunter.
No, but right. But we're not. It's the whole not all thing.
Okay,
so
I want to go ahead and
I'm not going to dive into it. But yeah, okay.
Okay, that's fine. We ain't got to dive into it. But I was only talking from the standpoint of weight and stuff like that. Now, if you're talking about men who are making in excess of six figures, And sure, they will definitely have options
But
because
I don't even think
women,
it's a money thing. Like, because I've come to be aware of some things, and it's not even a money thing. Like that's why I say like a lot
yeah,
of people I think are being misled. It's really because and that's why I've been kind of making a point when we've been talking about this all night to kind of focus on the initial the physical aspect of it because you know money and cars all these things are important, you know, people I guess to matter to people, but I don't think anything trumps human nature, right? And I think that people have been approaching things very, very wrong. And that's why men are having trouble with women and women are not liking their options, men are not like it's society got us all screwed up, right? And again, like I said, I don't want to dive into it because it's a whole nother stream. Like it's a whole different conversation, and it's going to go completely off the rails. But I don't think it's always about money. I don't think money is the tool that's used to make it easier, but it's not money. It's not necessarily about money, but it's what money allows people to do, I guess. But I completely derailed your point already. Anyway, allow me to let you finish.
yeah, it's not all about money. There's a lot of other factors that contribute to men and more options, and as far as women too, that want to increase their options as far as attracting the opposite sex. So I agree with you. It's definitely not all about money.
What do you think the line is between thick and fat?
Okay, I heard you ask that question too. Um, yeah, I didn't put a lot of thought into that one either. But you know, numbers aren't absolute. So I'll try to let's say for me, when it comes to being thick, I mean, I just like the fact of being stored in certain areas. You know what I mean? But let's say 180 for a woman is overweight.
Until where that's when it becomes fat. So anything over 180 is no longer thick; it has become fat. That's what you would say.
It depends on where it's at. Because I think women who are 300 pounds with most of the weight stored in a special area. So, I mean,
Well, I mean, I think it's all preference. But here's my thing too, though, and you know, people will maybe find my views conflicting, but it makes sense to me. Like you do have like those women, like you say, you have a special area. I call it special area, the ass.
right.
You know, that are thick, that are sitting right. You know, look, hey man, if she ain't stout, count me out. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. But with all that, it's a situation where it can still be obese. It can still be, well, not obese. It can still be overweight. It can still be ridiculous. So there are some of it just ridiculous. Say, but it's large. It's in charge. You know, and all that good stuff. But if we're being realistic, it's still kind of unhealthy, kind of
It
ridiculously
is.
big looking. But I you know, I wouldn't say I wouldn't, you know, but I'm just saying, you know, but it just in reality we know, but we know, you know what I'm saying. So it's like you kind of accept it's this, but it's this. So you know, it is what it is. But
You definitely know.
yeah, yeah. So I comprehend. I got you. I got you. Yeah. Okay. What else? What else? I asked you. You addressed your body count. What did I ask you? What you think is too high of a body count for a woman?
Okay. I will say 5. And the reason I say 5 is because there's a study that say that, you know, once women get past that 3 body count, 3 to 5 range, they end up wrecking their ability to pair bond. You know, like the other guy said, you know, a man can have sex with 30 women and feel good, but a woman, she start racking up some body count, she's going to realize that men and women are drastically different. Yeah, so like I said, I didn't look at the stats myself, so I don't really know, but they say that before a woman reach 3, then her chances of remaining happy in a marriage is 80%. But once it gets to that 5 range and above, it drops down to 20.
I've actually had a chance to sample the wares.
Yeah.
It's a wrap after that. So
And let's be real, most women don't want to live that life. They don't want to go around sleeping with men. They may put on a facade, this
yeah, but
strong and independent facade, but at the end of the day, they want relationships.
man, see what has happened is the world has sold women a bad bill of goods.
Yes.
We're selling this happy ever after princess shit from the jump, and it's not like it used to be, because back in the day you ain't have choices. It was like, man, you got a motherfucker, you had to stick with them. It was the lack of options. But nobody wants to do that anymore. Everybody's like, well, fuck it, I can find a bit like, unless a motherfucker just beating you up like Popeye and Bluto or some shit. I think it's certain things you just got to learn how to communicate, work it, and deal with. If there's happiness in all other facets of it, if it's just terrible, it's just terrible. But like, people don't want to deal with any kind of problems anymore. People just want shit to be perfect, and it's not gonna fucking be like that. It'll never, ever, ever fucking be like that. It's gonna be ups and it's gonna be downs. You're gonna have highs and fucking lows. But people only want to ride the highs. As soon as you get to lows, motherfuckers start jumping ship. So that's why you just got to be really cautious these days, because you got motherfuckers riding with you when the shit is good. Yeah. It is very it's crazy times these days. But like I said, society has pumped women up to the point where they're looking for that dream, they're looking for that happily ever after, that Prince Charming, but that shit don't exist.
Right.
And again, like I was talking about earlier about that grass is greener. The grass is greener where you water it. Sometimes
Exactly.
you might have to deal with a partner who ain't you're never gonna find a motherfucker who's 100%, and that's the problem, because they look at these celebrity relationships and don't realize a lot of this shit is fake, and a lot of these motherfuckers they are together for photo shoots and shit, and they hate each other behind closed doors, and they think this shit is real, but the media pushes this shit to them like all this fairy tale fantasy relationship shit, like shit that does not even fucking matter. But anyway, so they're looking for that.
Say that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, but I say, they're looking for that, and so instead of saying, hey, this is what it should be more about focusing inward and some other things. But like I said again, that's a whole other tangent.
I've heard some of the women say that they're y'all was talking about double standards between men and women. And look, I agree. Mm-hmm. There is double standards that favor men. Mm-hmm. There's double standards that favor women. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it goes back to the biology, the way we were biologically wired. If I'm not for or against hypergamy, I know a lot of people put women down on that, but the fact of the matter is women like to date, they either date laterally or above. Mm-hmm. And it's just their biological nature. So we can't rationally fault them for it. Mm-hmm. It's like a lot of people say that men are wired to be hypergamous. No, sorry, my bad. Polygamous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the double standard. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But we got to be consistent about it.
I agree. I definitely we just all that's the thing. We all look at it like we're the ones getting attacked, and we got to realize, hey, look, there's some issues with your side, there's some issues with my side. We all dealing with some things. How do we resolve this stuff instead of pointing fingers all the time? But it's easier just to point the blame. It's more fun to do that anyway. Mm-hmm. Let me see. So vastly by the count, you said 5 for women is the max. Where you got to send me this, if you whatever the study is that you saw about this pair bonding thing. I find stuff like that very interesting.
Yeah. I'll go look for it and send it to you.
Okay. I'd be definitely greatly appreciate it. All right. Anything else you got that's on your mind this evening?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close it. I am curious though. Would you prefer to date a woman with a high body count?
Would I?
Yeah, that's your preference. Would you prefer your woman to have a high or a lower body count?
I don't think any man. Let me not say that, but
Well, you can say it
I don't
because
think
you're right about that.
I don't think most men want a woman with a high body count. I think if you have a choice, you're going to accept the lower number. But there are, there's always some type of fetish or some type of weirdo who's into something out there. So that's why I just say they're not all, but the overwhelming majority, because you got the Adam 22s of the world. There's a lot more of those than people want to believe. But aside from people like that, I would think that most men would prefer the lower body count. But me personally, um, I don't know. I don't necessarily be tripping on shit too much because I'm me, so I don't give a fuck about things like that. If a person is like, if a motherfucker I'm fucking with you because you cool or whatever on that level, then that's that. But if it's just some whatever, then I don't really give a shit either way. So there we go.
So, yeah, but that's it for me, Hunter. I'm gonna get back in the chat to see who's talking mess.
Well, that's a bit. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Mr. D Love. Thank you, sir.
All right, take it easy.
All right, you have a good evening. All right, shout out to Mr. D Love, man. We have been going for quite a bit this evening. I think that I am good on that level. But what we can do is like we did yesterday evening, and that is slide in the Discord. Yeah, hold on, what is this? Yeah, we slide in Discord and continue the conversation. So I'm gonna put the link for the Discord in there. Just un momento, por favor. That shit is ridiculous. We actually had a good conversation in Discord last night. Shout out to everybody who came through and was up talking about I don't know what. See, this is this is what I be talking about. See, this is the shit I be fucking talking about. Somebody posted Wokey shout out to his all illusion. He posted something about a sea monster with 20 arms found in the dark Antarctic waters. Like, look, man, I believe the ocean is the scariest shit in the world. The ocean, it's scary. Like, bro, it's this is the one. Okay, this is it. Like, you don't know what's in that motherfucker. Like, at least in the sky, you can look up, you get like a telescope or some shit. Like, all right, I see you, space thing. You know what I'm saying? But in the ocean, can't see down there. Try to swim down there, your fucking guts gonna crumble up. You're gonna die. So yeah, speaking of, I watched a crazy documentary the other day about some people free diving. That's that. Like, this shit that's going on in the world. Like, I'll say there's a lot of shit to talk about. There's just a lot of. I want to get the den back to where we talk about life more so than outside of the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Because the political shit, we started to see that everybody's fucked up. We've been knowing everybody's fucked up, and it's just like the dens where we just talked about life things were definitely the most entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just shit that ain't have nothing to do too much with what was going on out there. Just things that we want to talk about. So that's what we want to get back to. Yeah. Yeah, it's a wild place, man, and that's why I say, like, I don't even want to talk about the crazy. I want to have good. The den is supposed to be a place where we leave all that bullshit at the door, at the den door. I got to get that old intro again where you said the door closing. We just leave the bullshit at the den door. We get this motherfucker talk crazy for a while. Get in the Discord, talk crazy for a while, then fall asleep. Somebody snores. Somebody gets recorded. And somebody's like, "Oh, got you snoring in the Discord. Look at you," and then there's that. All right, let me put the. Man, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like the fucking anglerfish with the light bulb. Like, how does the fish have illumination at the bottom? No light in the bottom of the sea. How does this nigga even know what light is about? Like, how does he have the genetics to create the fucking light? How does he know this shit? Like, that's what I said. Like, the Earth is a magnificent thing. this sounds kind of stupid because of the medium I'm on right now, but I believe like television, it fucked the world up, right? I think radio might have been cool because you still kind of had to like imagine some shit, like you had to use your imagination. Books are great, you know what I mean? But television fucked the world up, and then when you got like videos and streaming and all this type of shit, like it really fucked us up because now we have shit that does the thinking for us 24 fucking 7. Like you cut your brain off. Like you just like, I'm tired. I'm stressed out. I don't even want to. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna watch one of these 20 fucking streaming services. I'm gonna watch something I really enjoy that I just like cut my mind off, right? And do whatever. And so now I think people are getting less and less creative as a whole. People are getting more and more used to being told what to do. And when there's nobody telling them what to do, they get scared and they panic. But then you got the other side of people who understand like what's really going on, and that type of shit is scary. It can make you fucking panic. But yeah, like the internet stuff, like the fact that people they don't think for themselves anymore, like, or they don't think, what's the word I'm looking for? Again, I'm not thinking. Like I said, you're not. There people are now taught what to think and not how to think. So, but can you get on Discord from the phone? Yeah, I'm usually on Discord from my phone. It's just a little app. But yeah, so I know I'm talking about randomly rambling. That's usually how the Christians would end. I'm randomly rambling and fall asleep. But nah, man, the ocean is the scariest shit on the planet. It fucking, you don't know. We can't go. You don't know. Like we can't get down there. We got shit. We sending shit to fucking Mars, right? Takes like 7 years or some shit to get there. I don't know how long, but we sent the little SUV to Mars and let that motherfucker ride around till it got broke or whatever. And we ain't even got with the ocean like that. Like the motherfuckers in the big ships can't even swing in the ocean. They dropping fish and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's. I'll take the blame for it. Just tell them to call me. I'll write an excuse. All right, Miss Bell. You have a good evening. I expect to see you in the Discord because you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night. But yeah, let's go get in the Discord, people. I put the link in the chat right there. But I fucks with y'all because for whatever reason y'all listen to the crazy nonsense I talk about. But it's kind of like a mutual exchange because then I got the phone line open so you guys can talk crazy and whatever nonsense y'all want to spew. So we just listen to each other's nonsense. That's what friends are for, right? We listen to each other's nonsense. All right, man. Man, look, bro, who you telling, bro? Like, I be trying to tell people. I just try. And if you try to give people comments, look, we're gonna get in the Discord because we gonna Discord. You can talk real stupid. So, yeah, all right. Don't meet me there. Beat me there, because yeah, the Discord go down. We gotta make the Discord great again. So. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for being here. Good night, Miss Jen. Tomorrow, maybe? Tomorrow, maybe. Tomorrow, maybe. Like, it's a lot to talk about. Tomorrow, maybe. I don't want to promise it, but we're getting things back on a regular schedule. We're going to get back. Getting this thing back to where it was. I got some changes going on in regular life that'll make it a little bit easier to do that. So good with that. All right. Good night, Miss Sarah. Good night, Dita Gamma. Miss Bell, you already got your good night. You don't get 2 good nights. That's white privilege. But thank you for calling. All right, I'm going, y'all. Catch me in the Discord. All right. Yes, sir. Easy money. Yeah, I've been a little sporadic, but we gonna get it rolling, man. Like I say, it's just the community itself. That's what it's all about. Y'all are some wonderful people. I really fucks with y'all. Like, Y'all don't understand. For real, for real. Sweetberry. It's funny, Sweetberry's around me. He ain't got pistachio. She ain't even robbing nobody at gunpoint and shit. But we gonna get her back. All right, catch y'all on Discord. Let me pop that doop. All right, that's the link for the stop streaming. Adios, amigos. Follow. I ain't even got the damn Ed Honcho, HTX, Instagram, Ed Honcho, HTX, Twitter or X, Ed Honcho on X, Ed Honcho HTX on X. I have a fucking TikTok. I'm gonna start TikToking. I'm for real. I'm gonna start TikToking. It's a little TikTok trend going on right now that I find very amusing, but I ain't found my little wave yet. We got to get creative. But yeah, I'm gonna start TikToking. I'm gonna just start. Look, we gotta bring some new victims into the den. We're gonna coerce people to come talk to us, and then we attack them. All right, I'm going for real. All right, I'm done. Hit the stop button. Adios, amigos.